I'm seeing a lot of this, and I think I need to talk about it. A lot of fiction books are written by lady authors, and while they're very good and amazing, I feel there is some kind of hidden agenda behind the garb that they are presenting to the world. And today I'm going to be talking about the effeminization of man at the hands of these women. For many years and decades and generations, patriarchy has been the acceptable or the accepted rule of family life. There's a head of the family, usually a man, and there is a mother who takes care of the children. And then you have a son and a daughter in a typical family of this world. But it seems that these authors, they want to change this grain of how life operates because of their own understanding and situations which life has presented to them. In certain cases, they've had a violent upbringing or a bad past, or a nuclear family or a family where there's just one parent, and for that reason they probably have a certain configuration of the mind. Either that, or they prefer people of the same sex, which is okay. But I'm seeing this narrative in most books that I've read in the last 2-3 years, especially new books. They are somehow wanting you to embrace homosexuality. Again, my issue is not with homosexuals or homosexuality. In fact, when I lived in America, I thought the gays, the men, were the nicest people I met in America. And I feel they were great spenders, very big-hearted people with great concepts and imagination. I'm a big fan of Jeffree Star, and I think Jeffree Star is more than a man and a woman. However he cross-dresses or whatever he does, I think he's a great guy. My issue, however, is with this literature trying to debunk the age-old patriarchy and trying to instill a sense of melodramatic ushering towards homosexuality. I read a book this year called To Paradise or something like that, and almost every single character in the book has a boyfriend or a husband of the same sex. Obviously, Hanya, the lady author, is not a big fan of heterosexuality, and it's fine, it's okay. But in a way, heterosexuality is literally thought of as a weakness in this book. And I know this because I've read 2 books by the author. The combined size of both the books which I've read by the author is 1200 pages. So I don't need anybody to come here and tell me that she's not preaching homosexuality to the masses. Many other books I read this year, written by men and women. Again, homosexuality is at the epicenter of coolness, and it's the new hippie movement apparently. And I kind of have a problem with that, because I'm here just to call a spade, and if something is wrong, I feel I should come here and talk about it. Because I was at the bookshop with my friend the other day, and I told him that there are 40-50 books which I've read out of the books here, but they all have homosexuality as a subject matter. And though the books were amazing and the foundation of some of those books was absolutely outstanding and some were irritating, I have now started closely monitoring this systematic homo oppression of the masses. It is okay if you support the LGBT rights movement and all that, but it is not okay to somewhere try to suppress men. And I'm no spokesperson for the bereaved or the aggrieved, but I'm simply saying I feel there is systematic oppression of heterosexuality, and men are somewhat second-best creatures now. These women have rationalized that there needs to be some kind of change, and they want to be with women more. And if they have a man in their life, they want the man to sit in the house, and they want to be alpha females. I'm not saying this is happening in India, but I do feel that whatever happens in the West sooner or later finds itself in India. Somewhere men are being called out for their actions, and the action of 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 15% of men is how the universe wants to perceive us, how the world wants to perceive us. For example, there was a big filmmaker who was sent to prison for 100 plus cases. Then the whole Me Too movement happened. Then many actors got called out. Look, if you're a girl and you've been manhandled or tortured by a man, go ahead and knock your socks off. But to preach this diatribe in your books to an entirely ignorant audience, I don't think that is cool. And I'm slowly started seeing these kind of things. First I thought it was just me, but I started noticing out of the 18 books I've read this year, 5 happened to promote homosexuality to a certain degree. You know, almost as if they're like, oh, it's acceptable, oh, it's fine, you take a drag of it and you won't mind it. What the hell, dude? I mean, again, I'm going back and saying that I have nothing against homosexuals, but literature, and especially fictional literature, is really, really driving me mad, especially these authors. Now, don't say you don't read them. No. Somebody has to be the voice, you know. I feel there is a lot of effeminization of man, and I have a problem with that. I also have a problem with how this entire Me Too movement has gone. Why are we all behaving like we are holier than others? Why are men supposed to be always like, oh my God, we can, you know? I mean, I'm not saying that polygamy should be the way, and I'm not a polygamist, but what is this hypocrisy, man? Just because somebody does something, he's a bad guy. Just because someone does something, what is up with the cancel culture? And really, I mean it when I say this. I think there is some kind of agenda which all of these, I don't want to say all of these, but many of these women are bringing to the fore, and it makes me feel bad for men, you know. There is an effeminization of man. I mean, penises today are smaller than they've been ever in the history of man. Less people are getting married. There is more doubt seeping in nowadays. Women want to explore more options and have sex with women of the same sex. I don't find that attractive. In fact, there's nothing I find attractive about a woman liking another woman. Ew. I mean, sorry, it doesn't turn me on. It's my opinion. I'm not going to be sugar-coated about that. There are some issues at play here, man, and I'm just scratching the surface of it. What do you guys think about this? Jordan Peterson also comes to the rescue of men in his books, you know, but he does it obviously masterfully. Versus me, I'm just scratching the surface. Peace.